good afternoon. I'm Diane Flynn, and I'm going to be talking about a fabulous talent pool. It is a talent pool that has exceptional soft skills. They have low training costs and very high retention. And I'm going to start with my story, which I like to say I'm an accidental entrepreneur, because my story is I worked at the Boston Consulting Group for a few years. I worked about a decade at Electronic Arts, and then I was home doing this for the next 16 years, raising 3 children, and it was a complicated decision to pause. But about 3 years ago, I came back into the workforce as CMO at GSV Labs, and in the process of doing so, I found that the workplace had changed. I didn't have 500 friends on LinkedIn, probably because I did not have a LinkedIn profile. I did not understand social media as a business tool, despite having a background in marketing. And I didn't understand all the collaborative workplace tools like Google Calendars and Drives and Docs and Slack and you name it. So I also spoke with a lot of friends who had been out of the workplace and said, I'd really like to do what you did, but I have no idea where to start. And so I got to thinking, what if I could do something to help women re-engage in the workplace? And I pulled together 4 friends, and I said, here's all the things I didn't know. Let's come up with a plan to help women. And so in 6 weeks, we launched an 8-week curriculum, which I'll share with you in a minute. And we promoted it at our school, in our community, and we had 50 women sign up, pay tuition, and come to our classes. So we did it again in the fall. We doubled the price. This time we had 60 women sign up. So I call myself accidental. From there, I got a call from the Today Show. And they said, what you're doing is really unique and compelling, and there's a real need for this. We'd want to cover it. So I got my 5 minutes of fame, and from there we got calls from all sorts of media outlets. And once we were in these locations, we started getting calls from all over the country. And women would call me and say, I love what you're doing. We need reBoot in our city. And so we are now in 10 cities, and we're continuing to expand. What exactly do? We get women current, connected, and confident to return to work. And confidence is really the key there. Somehow it erodes when you step out of the workplace. We also provide to companies a ready pool of talent to diversify their workplace. I have a quick 9. Of what we do is we do teach all these essential technologies, but the magic is really the safe, supportive, in-person community that we bring together. Our demographics, the sweet spot is 35 to 55-year-old women, and 2/3 of them have graduate degrees. An interesting quick statistic, you saw in the video that 43% of women pause their career when they have children. It is 65% of women from the top business schools. So there's a huge brain drain from the economy. They have decades of work experience at some of the companies you see here. Why do hiring managers hire them? Bob Plaschke has come to us over and over for hires. He calls them accomplished, productive, great for the culture, team building, energized. Bonnie Simi, who interviewed 9 candidates for her head of operations position, hired one of our rebooters who had taken 17 years out of the workplace. She's recently been promoted and has hired another rebooter, and she talked about her maturity, judgment, gets things done. John Donahoe, who ran eBay, had a very successful returner program, and when I asked him how it was working, he said, it's our competitive advantage. So many people are saying they'll look to reBoot for mid-level manager positions because they've had this kind of experience. In our first 2 years, we've had over 600 women go through the program. We consistently get Net Promoter Scores 80 to 100. Our class last week got a perfect 100 for promoter. 100% of our attendees have a huge increase in confidence. 82% of our graduates have, I shouldn't call them graduate students, have found meaningful work. We are expanding to 10 cities. We're starting to work directly with companies on returner programs. We have a few digital products launching soon, and we just raised some outside capital. These are some of our partnerships. We just, in the last month, have signed a partnership with Visa. We were at SurveyMonkey last week. We're doing a program with the Stanford Business School on May 20th. And we have a veteran team of returners themselves who all have strong industry experience. So what's next for us? I mentioned this talent discovery program with Visa. We're starting to do more of that with companies where we help them identify hires, typically in sales, marketing, finance, legal. We're developing a tech track. And we have some digital products. In May 20th, we're launching reBoot in 30. And that's a daily email. We have a creative live class we're taping this fall, and we're creating tracks in data analytics and entrepreneurship. So we are a highly efficient, effective resource to attract talent, and I'll just end in my 2 seconds with our mission statement. So thank you.